Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the theater tag once and for all. Also, I am filming from a bed because I want to. Period. I hope you like the decor. It's not finished, but it will be eventually. Anyway, let's get to it. Question number 1. What is the first musical I ever saw? So I kind of have two answers for this one. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just like the first ever live musical I saw, professional or not, it was Treasure Island, which is, yes, a musical apparently. I saw an elementary school production of it. So yeah. And then if we're just counting like professional or like, I don't know, more professional, like community theater kind of, or community theater and above, the first show was the North American tour of Phantom of the Opera with Quentin Oliver Lee, Ava Tavares, and Jordan Craig. I know their names. Love that production. Question number 2, what is the first musical I ever performed in? So, the funny thing is with this one is, so this was a church production, already bad. It was a church production of this show called Once Upon a Sneeze. You can look it up, it does exist. It was really weird. I played Dr. Pepper. That tells you the quality of it. It's about a shepherd who's allergic to sheep. And I was the doctor that diagnosed him with being allergic to sheep. So yeah, question number 3, who was my first Broadway crush? The first person that comes to mind when I think of this question is probably Ryan McCartan. I don't know if that counts because he was technically off Broadway. Probably, other than that, maybe Jeremy Jordan, Aaron Tveit, you know, the classics. Ramin Karimloo. To name a few, I guess. I don't know. Question number 4 is, what was my first lead role? So I kind of have 3 of them. Because the thing is, I don't know what you consider a lead role, but these were kind of leads, I guess. So 2 of them actually go together. I did a production of All in the Timing at Clark College, and I played Mrs. Trotsky in Variations, and I also was Jill in English Made Simple, which I guess those are leads, but I don't know what people consider leads. I don't know if you don't count those as leads, but the closest one next to that would be Hero in Much Ado. Alrighty, question number 5. What was my first dream role? The first one that I can recall, so this is my first dream role, I guess. I don't remember much of this dream role, to be honest, or having this as a huge dream role, because it's not really a huge dream role of mine anymore. I would still love to play the character, but it's not as much of a dream role, I guess, for me. And that was Eliza Hamilton in Hamilton, because I had a Hamilton phase. Didn't we all? It was either that or the first one that I remember and that I still cling on to is Veronica Sawyer and Heathers. I love Heathers. I've loved Heathers since I was 13 years old. That was the first time I watched the movie. Yeah, I know that 13 is way too young to be watching the movie Heathers, but that's all I got. Question number 6. What was the first play I ever saw? So I guess the first one is, I think it was called The Crimson House Murder. I was in a middle school. However, they changed the title to The Crimson House Mystery because it was a middle school and they couldn't have the word murder in it. And that was because one of my friends was in it as Faye. Yeah, Faye. The character's name was Faye. So yeah. Number 7. What was the first play I ever performed in? So this depends on what I was in the Nutcracker. If you count that, that's technically a ballet, so I don't really consider it that. but the first like play that I was in was She Kills Monsters. I still love that show. I hold it very near and dear to my heart. I played a monster. I liked to joke for years that I was one of the main characters because my name was in the title. Period. Question number 8. What was my first Broadway show? So the first Broadway show that I ever saw was Beetlejuice. That was amazing. I got to see it with Alex Brightman and Elizabeth Peter. I love Elizabeth. I honestly, unpopular opinion, she's my favorite Lydia. I'm sorry to all of the Sophia Anne Caruso fans, but Elizabeth Teeter holds my heart. Question number 9. What was my first stage kiss? So to this day, I've actually only had one, and that was when I played Hero in Much Ado. I kissed my Claudio at the end of the show. Question number 10. First moment I realized I love performing. So I've kind of always loved performing. So I don't think there was a really defining moment when I was like on stage and realized that I loved it, because I think I always did love it. But the moment that I realized that it clicked for me, that I was like, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life. It's kind of a weird one, but it was when I was seeing Phantom of the Opera, because it was the summer before my freshman year of high school, and I had been getting into theater and starting to like, you know, really like theater stuff in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, more so 8th grade. And my mom knew that, and Phantom of the Opera was touring and it came in town, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, we have to go see it. I love Phantom of the Opera. I saw it on Broadway like back in the 90s. It's my favorite musical ever, so we have to go see it. So we went to go see it, and I don't know why. I do not know why this is what made it click for me, but it was the way they did it on tour. It was really amazing, the way they did it on my tour at least. So the chandelier, like, you know, was like hanging, and it was like beautiful and gorgeous. However, right now, like, it's at the top of the show when the chandelier is still unveiled, or like veiled or whatever, like you can't see the chandelier, like, you know, that's what it is, but it's like draped or whatever with cloth. And then like as like the song or like the overture starts playing or whatever, and they have like the dun, 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 and like that's kind of like, I think around the time that they unveiled the chandelier. But the way that they did it was so crazy. So it was like the chandelier was like, you know, like this, and it had fabric, like different strips of fabric draped around it on all of the sides. And they just like all of the fabric, like the fabric just dropped at the top, like, you know, fell down, and the chandelier just like sucked it up and was like lighting up to the music. And I was just like, I started crying because I was like, this is the most spectacular, amazing thing I have ever seen in my whole life. I need to do this forever. And that was it for me. I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, that was my first like, I don't know, love of theater moment, I guess. I don't know. Question number 11. We have, what was my first school musical? My first ever school musical wasn't until my senior year of high school, and that was Shrek the Musical. I played a dulak dancer, Mama Bear, a tap dancing rat, and one of the 3 blind mice. It was a sleigh. It was also very stressful. Question number 12. What was my first non-school musical? So technically I actually haven't had one yet. If all goes well, I have an audition for Cinderella. So if I get cast in that, that'll be my first non-school musical, if I get cast. Question number 13. What was my first summer camp show? So I actually never got to do a summer camp show. I almost did, and it was gonna be a Shakespeare one, and so if I had done that, it would have been The Merry Wives of Windsor and The Tempest, because it was a Shakespeare camp. I wish I would have gone, but I didn't, for like stupid friend stuff or whatever. I can't even remember the full story, but anyway. Question number 14. So close to our last question. What was my first crush on a cast member? So this was during the Nutcracker. I I had a crush on this guy named Eli. He played one of the Harlequin dolls, which replaced the Acro dolls. But I think the only reason I liked him is because he was kind of cute, and he was like the only guy in the cast that was my age. Because if I do recall correctly, I think I had more of a crush on the guy who played the Rat King. I think his name was David, but he was like a junior in high school, I think, and I was a freshman, so I was like, no, that's weird, and it's never gonna happen. But he is cute, he's very pretty. But that's it. Alrighty, last but not least, question number 15. What was my first major onstage mistake / missed cue? So this was actually during Shrek the Musical. And, oh my god, okay, I can't remember which show. It was like one of the last shows, I think. It wasn't the last show, but it was one of them. And I remember I was so stressed. So, I did not have a lot of time. Act 2 was my quick change, my main quick change, act, because I only had like one quick change in Act 1, which was a little stressful, but not too bad. But Act 2 was always very stressful because I was at the top of Act 2 as the tap dancing rat, or as a tap dancing rat. And then I had like 2 numbers to go back and change into my Free Blind Mice costume. And then right after that, I had to like really, really quickly get into my Mama Bear outfit. And I was trying to get ready for Mama Bear as fast as I possibly could, but I was just really stressing this day, and I didn't realize that no one else was in the dressing room. That was stressing me out even more, because I was like, oh my god, they're all backstage and they're ready. But then I got back there and I realized the number was like, they were already on. They were just starting Freak Flag. And I was like, fuck, obviously. I'm scared shitless. So I kind of like did my little Mama Bear walk on stage, like onto stage, and act like it was because like my back was hurting, so I was like a little bit slower, and it was just in time for my line, which, oh my god, I can't even remember what it was. I can't even remember, but it was like just in time for my line. And then as soon as I got done with that number, I started crying. Like as soon as I got off stage, I was like, oh my god, my director's gonna hate me. Number one, she didn't even notice. Also, that was the only mess up I had ever had in my 4 years in that department. I was so stressed. I remember I was so freaked out about it, but everything turned out fine. The show was fine. No one even noticed, really. And the few people who did notice were like, that was a good cover, nice. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. Anyway, that is all. Alrighty, everyone, that's all for today. This tag was created by Catherine Steele and one other person I cannot remember the name of. I don't think that their tags are up anymore, because they're pretty old, so I don't remember how long they've been up, and how long they've been gone. But last time I searched, they weren't on YouTube anymore. I haven't seen them. So, I don't know, but they were created by Cat Steele and what other creator? I can't remember the name of it, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's all. Remember to like this video, comment, subscribe, press the notification bell, and like follow my Instagram, and just like keep following. I'm trying to get monetized, so please subscribe and watch my videos all the way through, because I need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers before I can get monetized, and it would just make it so much easier to get money. Please. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye.